Hello YouTube, this is Asatsu5 and this is my opinion over the Natchez Bowie. This is not mine, this belongs to my brother and he's getting rid of it. And I thought I might as well make a video of it while he still has it, while I still have access to it, and talk about my impressions of the knife. Number one impression, it is very big. And that's kind of the double-edged sword you're dealing with. It's a massive Bowie knife. Let's see, I want to get it out of the sheath without hopefully damaging the leather. Compare these two. The Laredo is just a little bit smaller, and there's a few other things I want to point out. But yes, the Natchez Bowie, which is based more or less on the Musso Bowie, which is one of the Bowies that is rumored to belong to Jim Bowie, and there's a list of them that everybody's competing to see whose knife belonged to Jim Bowie. But this is one of the more stereotypical Bowies that is attributed to the Jim Bowie, and I don't think we have a lot of evidence to really point at. There's probably two Bowies that we can say Jim Bowie laid eyes on, other than that, there was not a whole lot of documentation. But the Natchez Bowie is massive. It has a very fine point on it, and I really like the hilt on it as well. But the downside, I'm going to go ahead and take this Laredo off, is the carryability of it. Now, my brother's carried this maybe twice since it became legal to carry Bowie knives, swords, and stuff, and it was a chore. It wasn't very easy. It weighs 19.9 ounces, has almost a 12-inch blade, which I know from my 12-inch Falcone makes things a little bit more difficult. But this is what you would consider to be a fighting Bowie knife. Now, this was Lynn Thompson's original fighting Bowie knife, but this one has more of the stereotypical looks to it. You have a wider blade that's going to increase the shearing capability. The blade is upswept. You have more or less a trailing point, and you have heavy guard and cable tang, which some people have problems with. I haven't had any problems with my cable tang, me and my brothers had the discussion. If you're going to fight a grizzly bear, would you rather have this or the Clement Maneuver Knife and Tool Hisho? And it was a tough decision. I don't know how thick it is, but there's the thickness of the spine. I don't have that measurement on me, but I just thought of that. And my brother, I can't remember what he said, but me personally, if I was going to fight a grizzly bear, I think I would want this. Now, the Hisho is going to give you a little bit more reach, and you're going to have a lot of good penetration with this. You're going to have a lot of good penetration with this as well, but it has some heft to it, so you can actually probably do some cuts with it on bears that have thick fur. I know this is an odd conversation to have, but this is what me and my brother talk about. This is the 01 Taiwan version of it, by the way. And my brother was initially disappointed in the the Secure-X sheath. And to tell you the truth, I was disappointed when they stopped using the leather belt stud sheath with the Laredo. When you get a new Laredo, you get this sheath. But there were some pros and cons to both of them. The Secure-X sheath is going to dull your blade out a little bit, and you're not going to be able to maintain a fine edge taking it in and out of the sheath. The Laredo, or the old school Laredo leather sheath, has that traditional look. It's going to be a little bit gentler on your blade. But the main problem, or the main disadvantage of the Laredo old style sheath, the leather sheath, is that it's not truly ambidextrous. You can carry this strong side, you can carry this cross draw, and that's strong side, right hand side, or cross draw, or scalp carry. But the cool thing about this Secure-X sheath is that you have a shelf on both sides. So you can carry this strong side with edge in and out on both sides of your body, and you can do cross draw, scout carry, or what I'm going to call scout carry. So because you have this shelf, you can carry it with the edge oriented outwards or inwards. And the way that I carry buoys, I carry the edge in. I have to go through the motions to really get it, but I carry edge in, and when I draw the blade is usually upside down. But that's how I do it with the leather sheath. But because you can orient this a different way, edge out, you can do it where the edge is presenting itself forward. So that's a big advantage of the Secure X sheath, is it makes it truly ambidextrous. And I still prefer the Laredo buoy as a carry buoy, and I'm willing to say I prefer the Ontario Bagwell as a carry buoy compared to the the Natchez. But the Natchez is definitely imposing looking. It's a very imposing blade. If you wanted to fight a grizzly bear, I'd say this is a good one to have. And if you're going to some kind of Frontier Days reenactment thing, this would be a pretty cool buoy to have, and then have a custom sheath made for it to add to your costume, like if you're in SAS or something. This would be a cool buoy to have as a prop / self-defense tool. It's just that unfortunately it comes with a Secure X sheath, and for it to be a good costume blade, you would need a leather sheath. Another reason why I like the old school Laredo buoy and the Ontario Bagwell buoys. But other than that, you have a historical design. Both of these actually are. And the big selling point to me is the Secure X sheath and its drawn capability. It's not going to be easy to carry, but if you can carry it, if you're in a bad situation, it's going to be a very imposing blade. And like I said, it's heavy. It's really heavy compared to the Laredo. So if you got a gun belt and you want to carry a Natchez buoy, just know anybody with a Spyderco Civilian, Endura, Corsabler, any kind of knife like that is going to be outclassed by this knife. But that depends on your personal taste. If you like big knives or small knives, they all have their advantages and disadvantages. But I just want to make my own video on this knife. I personally aesthetically like the blade itself, and I just if I wanted to buy this knife as a costume blade, I would want a leather sheath. And the Secure X sheath does have its advantages. Keep in mind, when you draw this knife, you kind of have to put your thumb on the throat of the sheath and press forward. It's not going to just draw the belt without drawing the knife like this one. This one you can draw it without drawing the sheath. But if you try to draw this one without using your thumb or without grabbing it and pulling it, you're going to draw the sheath out of your pants or belt. So remember, when you're drawing this, place your thumb right there and just give it a push. It pops out, blade comes right out, you're ready to get to work. So that's it, that's the video. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm a Satsu 5, and I'm out.